19-year-old lefty Alex Eala from the Philippines could be the next big thing in pro tennis.
This is the goal
My
to
goal
do.
is to be able to integrate myself into the WTA circuit more and to be able to handle myself better on court.
Bolted into the spotlight last month after making the semifinals at one of the biggest pro tennis tournaments in the world.
That performance happened at one of the most prestigious tournaments on the planet. And right now, Practice Court 6 is where the madness is unfolding. The atmosphere at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden has gone absolutely viral, and even former pro Christopher Eubanks is stunned by the sheer chaos. Eubanks, a veteran who has seen every level of fan intensity, went on the air yesterday to suggest that tournament officials are facing a serious dilemma. He urged them to move Alex to a larger stadium court because the massive wave of supporters is becoming a genuine concern for public safety. This is the absolute peak of the 2026 Indian Wells hysteria, but the truth is, this phenomenon is not a new development. Just 2 weeks ago in Dubai, tournament director Salah Talak officially stated that every single match featuring Eala was a complete sellout. That explosive demand for tickets did not just stay in the Middle East, it followed her across the ocean straight to the California desert. The Indian Wells Tennis Garden is a place of legends, where icons like Steffi Graf once achieved the historic Sunshine Double. Serena Williams turned these courts into her personal domain, and the great Martina Navratilova won consecutive titles here in her mid-30s. Now, Navratilova is observing Alex's meteoric rise from the sidelines, and her recent comments on the official tour platform caught everyone by surprise. Her insights were unexpected, reminding us how difficult it is to envision this level of hype when we are so deep in the moment. It is truly mind-blowing to hear a young athlete declare their dream to be number one and then actually see them back it up 100%. Sports have frequently served as a powerful catalyst for social evolution and significant progress on a global scale. If Eala continues to dominate with her racket, there is absolutely no limit to what she can achieve both on and off the court. People are seriously asking if she is currently the biggest attraction in the entire world of women's professional tennis. This is a massive claim that should not be taken lightly, so if you want to follow this unfolding drama, make sure to subscribe immediately. The narrative is only expanding, leaving everyone wondering how a player ranked 32 in the world could spark such a global phenomenon. Last year, Indian Wells shattered records with over 54,268 fans entering the gates during the event. Those record-breaking numbers were achieved without Eala even being in the main draw or mentioned in the daily conversations. Now, she has arrived as a seeded player for the first time at a top-tier event, holding the 32nd spot in the world rankings. The tournament's official website is already branding her as one of the most exciting and poorly kept secrets in the entire sport.
Of course, the atmosphere in each tournament has been amazing, and it's been a different start this year than any other year I've ever had. So,
Sports, Alex Eala makes history in the U.S. as the first Filipino tennis player to compete at the Indian Wells Open.
Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now?
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
What makes this story truly captivating is the local geography, as California boasts the largest Filipino community in the entire United States. There are nearly 2 million people within this demographic, creating a massive, ready-made fan base that does not need to travel far. This community is already mobilized and descending upon the Indian Wells Tennis Garden with an intensity that the staff was not prepared for. During her very first training session on Practice Court 6, fans were seen desperately pressing against the fences of nearby courts. They were struggling just to catch a fleeting glimpse of her, not during an actual match, but during a simple pre-tournament practice. This happened before a single competitive point had even been played, signaling that the Alex Eala era had officially arrived in California.
Alex Eala advances to the Dubai WTA 1000 quarterfinals. Sheila Salaysay has that story.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here and thank every single one of you for your support, taking the time and effort out of your day to be there and cheer me on with the other girls means so much, especially at this time of the year. I couldn't thank you more, and I had such a fun time.
Alex noted that their presence meant the world to her, especially during this critical stretch of the professional tennis calendar. Broadcast analysts have been debating her impact live on the air, posing a question that has since dominated every tennis conversation. People are wondering if Eala could already be considered the single biggest draw in women's tennis on a global scale. Many experts did not hesitate to agree, describing venues in both Australia and Dubai as having standing room-only crowds. They described the atmosphere surrounding her matches as nothing short of insane and massive in its scale. With every tournament she enters, the surrounding hype grows louder and more impossible for the tennis establishment to ignore. That trajectory is pointing toward a level of stardom that nobody expected for a 19-year-old Filipino player outside the top 30. To truly grasp the magnitude of what is happening in California, one must look back at the events in Dubai from 2 weeks ago. That was the moment when the blueprint for this current ticket frenzy was first written and executed on the world stage. Tournament director Salah Talak gave an interview following the event that left seasoned tennis observers completely stunned. He confirmed that every single match involving Eala was entirely sold out, leaving no seats available for the general public. His description was very specific, noting that fans were desperately seeking tickets that simply no longer existed. He further mentioned that in his long tenure running the tournament since 2019, he had never seen anything like it. These high-level tournaments have been incredible learning experiences for her, especially when playing in front of such passionate crowds. She mentioned that she gives her absolute best effort on the court and tries to capitalize on every opening she sees. She is still so young and just beginning to break through, yet the schedule is already packed with high-stakes matches. Her confidence is visibly growing, allowing her to go for her shots with total conviction and without a shred of doubt. She noted that the turnout from the Filipino community has been one of the largest she has ever seen in her career. She also recalled that the energy in New York was massive, though it often depends on which court you are assigned to play on. This is a veteran tournament director who has hosted world #1s and Grand Slam champions making these unprecedented claims. He is essentially saying that a teenager ranked outside the top 30 produced a bigger impact than the biggest names in the sport. While all of this chaos was happening off the court, Alex was busy dismantling the world #7, Jasmine Paolini. That victory against the Italian star in the round of 32 marked her very first top 10 win of the 2026 season. It was a monumental achievement for the young athlete, and the crowd was there to witness every single point of that historic match. Even in defeat, Jasmine Paolini remained as gracious as ever, acknowledging the incredible performance of her young opponent. The former champion was officially out of the tournament, and the name on everyone's lips was Alexandria Eala. Experts predicted this match would go down to the wire, but Eala's recent form suggested she was ready to pull off a massive upset. Many noted that Paolini was not playing at her absolute peak, providing the perfect window for Alex to seize the moment. Unlike her previous match in Abu Dhabi, where she was simply overpowered, Alex found the right tactical balance to dominate here. After that victory, she pushed deep into the quarterfinals before eventually facing the world #4, Coco Gauff. While the final score against Gauff was a lopsided 6-0, 6-2, the journey to that stage revealed the true potential of her game. She arrived in California with a solid record of 10 wins and 6 losses for the 2026 season so far. Her impressive runs to the semifinals in Auckland and the quarterfinals in Dubai provided the momentum she needed for the American swing. Those accumulated points propelled her to a career-high ranking of 31, just enough to secure a seeded position at Indian Wells. Being the 32nd seed earned her a first-round bye, a significant milestone for any player at a WTA 1000 event. That bye placed her directly into the round of 64, where a match against Ukraine's Diana Yastremska was set for March 6th. The two had previously faced off at the 2025 Eastbourne Open, where Alex dominated with a 6-1, 6-2 victory. After that win in Eastbourne, Alex went all the way to the final before losing a heartbreaker to Australia's Maya Joint. Martina Navratilova, a winner of 18 Grand Slam singles titles, knows exactly what it takes to succeed at the highest level. Having won back-to-back titles at Indian Wells in her 30s, her perspective on the sport is virtually unmatched. She has watched the game evolve through multiple eras, from the days of Chris Evert and Steffi Graf to the dominance of Serena Williams. When a legend of that caliber discusses a rising star, the entire tennis community stops what they are doing to listen. Navratilova sat down for a preview of the 2026 BNP Paribas Open with the official tour media team. When Eala's name was brought up during the interview, the legend actually laughed before she even began to speak. For those who know Martina well, that laughter is not a sign of disrespect, but a nod to a player who is genuinely difficult to play. She specifically described Alex as a crafty player, noting her left-handed style as a major tactical advantage on the court. Navratilova pointed out that Eala uses her variety in a way that creates unique and frustrating problems for her opponents. For an athlete who built a career on outsmarting stronger rivals, this kind of praise from Martina is extremely high level. However, Navratilova did not just stick to compliments. She provided a very honest assessment of the work Alex still needs to do. She was incredibly direct about one specific area of her game that needs immediate improvement, and that is the serve. Martina identified the serve as the primary ceiling currently holding Alex back from reaching the absolute top tier of the sport. She noted that Alex needs to develop a much bigger serve, with more kick, to compete with the power of the top 10 players. Navratilova acknowledged that her relatively slight frame makes it a physical challenge to generate the explosive pace used by the elite. Her framing of the situation was highly educational, suggesting that the raw ingredients for a superstar are already present. Essentially, she is saying that the tactical intelligence is already elite, and the physical power is the final missing piece of the puzzle. What is most telling about this assessment is what the legend chose not to criticize during the conversation. She didn't question her shot selection, her movement on the court, her mental toughness, or her ability to hang with the best. By flagging only one technical gap, she implies that every other part of Eala's game is already functioning at a world-class level. This is where the narrative becomes incredibly compelling for anyone who follows the intricacies of the professional women's tour. These comments came during the same interview where she warned the top 3 players that the landscape is shifting beneath them. She was very clear that players like Alex represent a new breed of athlete with total clarity of action and tactical maturity. This new generation is no longer walking onto the biggest stadiums, feeling intimidated by the legendary names across the net. Alex expressed her genuine happiness about advancing to the next round, even if the match didn't end exactly as she had hoped. She is currently scheduled to showcase her skills in both the singles and the doubles competitions at this tournament. When you are fueled by that kind of crowd energy, the concept of physical fatigue seemingly disappears into the background. Tournament officials welcomed Alex for her debut, highlighting just how special this moment is for the sport in the Philippines. Having a massive, energetic crowd is what organizers describe as a very good problem to have for any major tennis event. This represents a fundamental structural shift in the sport, rather than just a temporary storyline for a single week. The timing of her debut at Indian Wells is particularly high stakes, given the ranking points she must defend shortly after. She is entering a venue where she wasn't even present last year, with the Miami Open looming immediately on the horizon. Her ranking points from last year include a stunning semifinal run in Florida where she defeated several Grand Slam champions. During that run, she took down elite players like Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys, and Jelena Ostapenko in back-to-back matches. If her performance in the California desert falls short, the pressure to perform in Miami will become significantly more intense. However, a deep run here could potentially catapult her into the world's top 20 for the very first time in her career. Christopher Eubanks highlighted the crowd situation with a specific logistical concern that cuts through all the media hype. He pointed back to the scenes in Australia, where the crowd surrounding her matches became physically difficult for security to manage. He described scenes of fans forming massive mobs and lines stretching far beyond the capacity of the smaller side courts. People are genuinely asking if she has already surpassed the drawing power of established stars like Sabalenka or Coco Gauff. The comparison is wild, but some observers believe her impact is even more significant than the rise of Fonseca on the men's side. The crowds in Doha last week were described as absolutely insane, proving that this is a global phenomenon, not just a local one. You find yourself wanting to tune into her matches just to experience the electric atmosphere that follows her onto every court. There might even be a touch of professional jealousy from other players who see a non-top 10 player becoming the biggest star. His recommendation to the tournament organizers was simple and direct. Put her on the stadium courts to ensure everyone stays safe. This is a seasoned male professional making a serious logistical argument about a female player who hasn't even won a main tour title yet. The massive disconnect between her current world ranking and her real-world cultural impact is one of the most unique stories in tennis history. Looking at the official bracket, her potential path through the Indian Wells draw is incredibly fascinating for any sports fan. A victory against Yastremska on March 6th would set the stage for a high-profile third-round rematch against the formidable Coco Gauff. This is the same Gauff who previously defeated her in Dubai, setting up a perfect narrative of redemption and growth. Beyond that hurdle, the draw indicates that Jasmine Paolini, whom Alex has already beaten once this year, could be a quarterfinal rival. Alex showed class at the net, thanking Jasmine, while Paolini proved once again why she is one of the most respected players on tour. Even as a former champion was sent home, the world was focused on the incredible rise of Alexandria Eala. While the tournament bracket is certainly challenging, it is far from impossible given the high level of tennis she is currently playing. Throughout this season, she has proven beyond a doubt that she can hold her own against top 10 opponents on the biggest stages. In addition to her singles campaign, she is also competing in the doubles event alongside world number 18 Emma Navarro. This duo previously showed great chemistry by reaching the semifinals during the tournament in Auckland earlier this January. Their opening match in the doubles draw is a tough test against Latvia's Jelena Ostapenko and American Hailey Baptiste. Managing a deep run in both singles and doubles will be a massive test of her physical stamina in the intense California heat. The ticket frenzy surrounding her debut has established an electric tone that the rest of the tournament will have to sustain. Whether the specific courts she is assigned to can actually hold the sheer volume of fans is a major question for the organizers. Indian Wells, a venue that just broke its own attendance record, will be watching the logistics of her matches very closely. The hype is real, the demand is backed by hard data, and the quality of her tennis is finally catching up to the fame. This is the comprehensive story of Alex Eala's takeover of the 2026 Indian Wells tournament. We have tracked everything from the sold-out stadiums in Dubai to the expert technical breakdown provided by Martina Navratilova. If you appreciate this level of in-depth analysis and factual reporting on the world of tennis, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Leave your predictions in the comments about whether she reaches the quarterfinals, the semifinals, or something even more historic.